We welcome the team BishBashBosch, Rudy and Chantelle. The Bosch family are on the start line. Where are the fans? Where's the support? Make some noise! So good to have families, friends, all the support, all the spectators out here for the ABSA Cape Epic. Rudy and Chantelle, good luck.
Hi, my name is Rudy Bosch, Chantelle's hubby.
And I'm Chantelle, Rudy's wife. Boshy! I know it's Boshy. Okay. No man, stop it over. Stop that.
I've been riding a little bit longer than Chantelle. I started riding probably 2012, 2011, 2012. My brother said to me, "You're much too big to run." We used to run together, half marathons, and he said, he's an orthopedic surgeon, so he said, "No, you're never going to hold up." Coming out of my rugby career, he said, "No, running is not for you. You got to get on a bike and save your joints." And so Chantelle, we tried 2014, didn't really work, quite a few falls.
I didn't enjoy it at all.
And yeah, we kept going.
2019.
So 2018, one of my friends said to me in May of 2018, he said to me, "We got to get our wives riding." And I was going to ride the Epic with this friend, and he said, "I've just entered all of us to the Karoo Coast in May, and we were going to ride." And I said to Chantelle, "You gotta start riding."
I didn't have a bike. I said, "Well, how am I going to ride?" He said, "Well, we can ask my brother if he can borrow you his bike." And I borrowed his bike for 3 months. And he said to me, "If I can ride after 3 months, he'll buy me a bike." And so I went to, that's when I said to him, "Okay, that's fine, but I need to learn how to mountain bike." Because I don't know how. Like, I didn't know a simple basic that you needed to actually stand on your pedals when you go downhill and not sit. So we did that, and he said to me, "That's fine," and he enrolled me with breakaway rides. And I did 6 months of skills training. And then I got my bike, and we went to ride the Karoo Coast. I've been hooked ever since.
So to answer your question, about 10 years and about 4 years.
So Rudy rode the 2019 Epic with a friend of his.
Now let's roll back. I've worked at the Epic as a doctor.
Yes, yes.
In 2015.
And 16.
That heavy Epic where it was really hot. And I worked there and I saw a lot of people suffer. And I was a mountain biker, and I came back to Chantelle and I said, "I never, ever want to do the Epic." And then In 2018, I won
Yes.
2018, I won the entry for Mediclinic to ride
A lottery entry
a lottery entry to ride.
in 2019 to ride the 2019 Epic. Yeah. You won that in the November, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In October.
October, and then they started training to ride the 2019 Epic, him and his friend. And then I went to see them off at the prologue, and I stood there and I said to him, but I also want to ride this. And he said to me, can you ask me in 8 days' time how I'm feeling and if you still want to ride it? And we went through the motions, and it was a tough Epic, and came over the finish line at the end, and I said, he says, do you still want to ride this after seeing what the condition I'm in now? And I said, absolutely, I want to ride this. And I started training the very next day in 2019. End of March 2019, I started training for the 2020. So, yeah, we trained. We got a coach. I think in the June of 2019, I started riding or being coached by Jenny Stenhog. And I told her my goal was to ride the Epic with my husband. And she said, that's fine. We'll get you to ride the Epic. There's enough time. I said, okay. And then Rudy joined, I think, in November with coaching by Jenny as well. And we got to February, we did the Atacos in January, we did the Tankwa in February of 2020, and I loved it. The Tankwa for me was the best event up until that stage. Came over the finish line every day, big smiles. I'm like, okay, I'm ready for the Epic, I know I can do it, you know. And we had a month to go, and
Yeah, but she's not telling you 3 weeks before that, finishing the Atacos. She was in absolute tears.
In the January, so the Atacos was horrific. It was the first Atacos. It was beautiful blue skies for the first half, and we got to the top of the mountain, and on the other side, it was a rainstorm. And we were covered in mud, wind, rain for 60 k's. For the last 30 k's of the Atacos, I had no brakes all the way downhill. Everything had been eaten up by the rain and by the water and the mud. I couldn't see through my contact lenses. I couldn't see through my glasses. I couldn't see through anything. And I called home. I came over the finish line and I said to him, I think you need to find yourself another Epic partner because I'm not cut out for this. He said, no, you're allowed to have a bad day on the bike. Atacos is hard. It's okay. You finished. Okay. Then we got to the Tankwa. The Tankwa I loved. Tankwa was amazing. And then the week before the Epic, I started getting nervous and thinking, can we actually do this? Am I going to function? Am I going to get through 8 days? And I started having a bit of doubt, but Jenny said to me, you're fine. Your brain knows that you have to ride for 8 days. So you're not only riding for 4 days. She said, so you will make it. You'll get to the end. Just enjoy it and enjoy the journey. In the meantime, so the whole thing that we came about to ride, or the whole reason also behind it was to ride for cancer. Rudy had lost a dear friend a couple of years before due to cancer, young friend, 40 years old. My best friend had just been diagnosed with lung cancer. She lost a lung, also 40 years old at the time. And so we decided we need to have a purpose to ride the Epic. Mixed into this, 3 days before the Epic was my 40th birthday, so I dedicated my 40th birthday to the Epic as well. So I cancelled everything for my birthday, and I said the Epic will be my birthday. So here we are, this massive purpose to ride this amazing tour, and no birthday, no purpose fulfilled. And 7 o'clock the night before registration on the Friday night, Rudy was at work, and I got the news that the Epic had been cancelled due to COVID. and I was broken. I phoned him, I was sobbing, and he said to me, I'll be home in an hour. I'm sorry. All I can say is I'm sorry. I said, well, it's not your fault. I said, but I don't understand why we can't ride this. Not understanding from a medicine point of view or from a scientist point of view what this COVID is all about. And I was absolutely distraught. I think that night, Rudy and I cried and laughed and cried and got angry and cried some more until about 10 o'clock that night. We went to bed, and the next morning we both woke up sick as dogs. It's as if flu had climbed in overnight. Our bodies just shut down and just said, that's it. And we couldn't do anything for the rest of the weekend. We were broken.
I mean, I think the biggest problem for us is COVID came on my radar probably mid-January. I started, I'm big on Twitter and following, and I realized something is coming. So I said to Chantelle and my brother, there's something big coming. We don't know yet, but it's in China, it's coming, and the waves were there. I mean, no one in South Africa was like, no, there's nothing yet. And I think by the time Tankwa arrived, we knew it might be tight. Italy just had their big wave of COVID hit them, and at our hospital level, we really started thinking, okay, how are we going to change the hospital? So I knew it was going to be tight for Epic, but once Epic happened, obviously the wave would hit us. So
because 48 hours before the Epic, they were still talking about going ahead. You didn't think the Epic was going to be cancelled, even though you knew this was coming.
Yeah, even in my mind, it was not completely here yet, but with the retrospective scope, it was the right decision. I mean, some of the riders tested positive in that week, and it was the right thing to cancel. Obviously, we were distraught, but literally my world turned from cycling to COVID in that weekend, really. We changed, we had to get the hospital ready, we had to split the hospital, COVID, non-COVID, brand new virus, what it's going to do to us. We bought gas masks, and we got 3D printed visors, and I mean, the problem for us was, as frontline workers, the previous two coronaviruses were very deadly, so 70% of the healthcare workers died. So we were really going to be in the firing line. And just to get everyone up to speed, what's the latest, how do we not get sick? I mean, the people that got sick coming to us, we cannot do anything about that, but how do we as healthcare workers, because that was the big problem with Italy, was you lost so many of the healthcare workers in that time, so we were like really scared now. So I think for Chantelle, the pain of not riding the Epic was a lot longer. With me, we really just switched into COVID gear. Like, we really had to start working on that. And
I was the regular citizen at home, being locked down with two kids, not being able to go anywhere, they're not going to school. I've lost my Epic, I've lost my birthday. You know, selfish me, it was all about me at the time. And he's like, why are you so upset? Do you know what's going on out there? And I'm like, I don't. I'm the normal, regular citizen that's not understanding why we're being locked up here. You know, because you can't see it. And he was working the most ridiculous hours. I mean, he was scared to come home because he didn't know if he was bringing something home or not.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. You literally packed your little bag, went to work, showered at work before you got there, worked, showered at work again, showered here. Like, you tried to not contaminate things. I rode my bike to work. There were no one in the streets, like no one, literally no one. It was so eerie, like riding on your bike and not seeing one person in the streets, because the average Joe was not allowed. So and at that time we saw a lot of sick policemen. So because they got sick because they went around areas where people were still partying and stuff. And there was a lot of sick policemen, and if you think back, there was a lot less police at the time because there were a lot of people got sick. So yeah, it was a very strange period, I think, and I think for everyone, but being in that danger zone, as I told my friends previously, it was like going to war, but you can't see the enemy. And for that first 4 weeks or 3 weeks, we didn't see any sick people. So you were just preparing, waiting for that first one. And I still remember that first one. Sorry.
Oh, it was emotional, yeah. It was tough. It was a war zone.
I think if I had to tell someone that said they want to do the epic, I would strongly advise against trying to do it in 6 months. I would say take a 18-month project. I think a human body can change quite a lot in 18 months. If you haven't been riding lots of miles, 18 months is a better time. I mean, I thought I was okay for the epic, but the epic takes a lot. In my 2019 epic, I almost did not make the 1 day. And I didn't think I was that weak, but you must remember the person that enters the epic is already the top 10% of people that ride mountain bike. So you have to be the top 8% because that last 2% is going to fall out. The epic is tough, and don't think you will just get on a bike and ride the epic. It's called the epic for a reason. So I think that's
and I think going into it, people just need to realize that it's not a race. The epic is not a tour that you can race unless you're a pro. If you're not a pro and you're in just a regular mountain biker, don't try and apply the same thing to the epic as what you apply to a 3-day Wines to Wales, for example. It's not the same. Wines to Wales, you can give it all every single day for 3 days and you will survive. But the epic, I think, you have to go in a little bit more moderate, a little bit more relaxed, just a little bit more easygoing.
Body management is key. You
start
seeing it on the longer stuff. So if you ride the Tankwa, day 4 is almost double as tough as day 3, even though it's an easier, and it does that. It accumulates on you. So
and I think it's not about speed as such. I mean, yes, there's cut-off times and things like that, but it's not about speed. It's about being strong. Your body needs to be strong. The body needs to be able to cope with riding every day for 8 days. So there is a lot of people that say, we can ride 80 Ks or 100 Ks in a day. It's not a problem. But can you do that 7 days in a row?
If I open up my arms, I can see the sky.
It's the Hill of Pain.
One of the hills of pain.
We ride our 4-minute intervals on this. So start 4 minutes as hard as you can and rest for 4, and you do that 4 times.
Okay, so I did a few individual races last year and I was devastated with the results. I put a lot of pressure on myself, had a lot of expectation, had goals, and I just missed the goals on both occasions, both at SA Champs and Western Province Champs marathons. And I was very disappointed afterwards, and I realized that this wasn't good for me. It wasn't good for me to feel that way, and that's where I started losing a little bit of enjoyment for the riding. It became about racing to achieve something, and then I wasn't looking up smelling the roses, and so I stepped back and I just said I can't actually do the competitive thing. It's not good for my personality. I'm too particular, I'm too type A, I'm too perfectionist. The expectation is there, the disappointment is huge. It's not worth it. So I stepped back a bit and I just said I'll continue riding with Rudy and just do mixed team events where we can enjoy it, because we ride well together, we have fun along the way, and it's good company to be together. And that way we actually did much better, and we ended up podiuming both P to Play, Sani to C,
Wines to Wales.
Wines to Wales. So we did very well actually, and that was a lot more fun. And I'm going to give it a little bit more time, and I will, with the help of the coach, I'll revisit it maybe towards the end of the year when Western Province comes up again, or SA Champs comes up again. Not obviously, I will never race elite. I don't have enough time to prep for elite, but I would like to at least get Western Province colours in the vets for mountain biking. So that is a goal still, and hopefully we can achieve that this year. But we are going into Epic non-competitive. There is no ways we're going into Epic competitive. This is a journey for us, and we just want to enjoy it. We want to take photos every day. We want to stop at water points. We want to talk to other people, meet other people, and we want to just get to the finish line of the Epic. There is no racing or competition in this Epic whatsoever. None. Since I started bettering myself and training and doing skills, I don't get a hand on my back anymore. I don't get helped up the hills anymore. I don't ever get that. I have to work. Everything I do, I work by myself.
But you're not stronger than me. Right?
No.
You need to help me.
No. So, but Rudy is incredibly strong on a straight, on a flat, to pull a bunch. So there are times that he'll sit working, or to me it seems like he's working hard, but he's not. He's actually zone 2, in a zone 2 heart rate, wrister, riding that hard that I am riding an interval, sitting behind him on his wheel, working so hard to keep up with him. But that's just his strength. So in that sense, he'll help me get somewhere faster, he'll pull me. And on the downhills, obviously he should be a enduro downhiller, but yeah, he has fun, he enjoys it. And then my strength is more the climbing. I can climb faster than him. I guess it's only really because I'm lighter. But in the last Wines to Wales, we were chasing to get home. I think it was day 2. And it was Rudy and 2 or 3 other guys, strong guys. And I was sitting right at the back on their wheel trying to hold on. And eventually I said to Rudy, I cannot keep up. I can't do this. I don't have the same watts. You have to remember that this is not 2 males riding together. It's a female and a male. And it doesn't matter how strong I am or how hard I try, I will never match his watts. He will always be stronger than me. So he does now take that into consideration. He remembers that.
Just as long as she remembers to wait at the top of the...
Always.
I think that you stuck to your guns. I mean, I remember there in the beginning, so our first round of trying to ride mountain bike, she said never again. We revisited 3 or 4 years later. Yeah, and then you stuck to your guns and you said I was going to become better, and I think in all senses of the word you're a better person.
Keep riding. For me, I think I love the fact that Rudy wanted to share something with me without anybody else. So for me, he's given up his time, and he's given up riding with a lot of his friends and your brothers to ride with me because it's our time together. I love it. And the fact that he, as busy as he is, he still trains as hard as he does. And for me, I'm super proud of the way you climb on your bike now. Like, he's a big guy, climbing is not his expertise, and in the beginning I used to climb and I used to wait. I could wait up to 5 minutes at the top of a climb for him, and that 5 minutes is long. Now I turn around and he's right there. He's right there. And I love that. I love the fact that you've come so far, you know, for such a big guy. It's I mean, cycling is geared for the tall, skinny people, you know.
Especially mountain bikes.
They achieve so much more, the tall, skinny people. But yeah, I'm just proud that he's brought me into this with him, that I can be his partner. It's so lekker to be his partner in riding, and it's a good feel for me. I'll say, okay, let's do an event. I'll say, do you want to ride? Who do you want to ride the event? And he says, no, we're riding the event together. Okay, great, cool. You know, so lekker for me. There's a lot of things to be proud of. I don't know how to put them all in words. There's a lot of things.
For the record, her saddle is too low.
Well, there you go. What a week. It's been hectic. We woke up on Monday with Rudy not feeling well, and we think he picked up some sort of virus at work. He worked a night shift on Sunday night, and we went for a ride on Monday morning, and he had a little nap, and after that he woke up sick as a dog, and I thought, this is impossible. It's the week of Epic. We have not been sick in 3 years. How can we be sick now? Anyway, progressively got worse over the week. Took every medicine option you could think of, every drip option you could think of, and he's turned the corner. And so we were wearing masks in our house for the last 7 days, non-stop, sleeping with masks, everything, sleeping in separate rooms, everything, just to make sure that I don't get it. And I woke up this morning on the day of the prologue, and there's something going on in my chest. Anyway, we're going to ride the prologue rustig, so that we can get through the prologue in one piece, and I'll be back to the pharmacy today for a round of meds for myself. But no, we're good. We will get through it. And then we got in the car this morning. We loaded the bikes like we normally do for every event. For some reason we didn't tighten the rack properly, and halfway on the end to the bike started falling off the rack. So yes, a great start to our Epic, but we're here and we're riding.
Start of an epic journey.
Yay! Finally! Well done.
Yeah.
And tell us.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing. I said to Chantelle, I'm glad it wasn't longer today, so give us a little bit more time to recover. But yeah,
It was
it went
lekker.
well.
No,
It
we
was
did well.
lekker.
It was lekker. We paced ourselves. Ja. Woo! Lekker. Prolog was lekker. Fun. Took a rest though? Lekker. Yeah, we've actually had a good week. The first 2 days was obviously tough, and on day 2 we thought, how are we going to finish this week if this is how the first 2 days went? So it was quite brutal. But every day we've come over the finish line with smiles on our faces, no matter what's been thrown at us. So for us, I think that's a huge accomplishment just there. We've been facing ourselves, we haven't been riding ourselves into the ground. I had a bad day 5. I overhydrated, so my whole body was swollen and I couldn't consume anything, and I couldn't take in any more fluids because I couldn't get it out fast enough. So lesson learned. I obviously don't sweat as much as what my husband does, so I can't consume as much as he does. But by yesterday I felt like a new person again. We only had 1 technical the whole week, so that's great news. And
I had a little sidewalk cut here on the side in stage 4 in Greyton, so that cost us 20 minutes trying to plug it. It wouldn't work, and then tube back wheel off, put a new tube in, so yeah, it took a while.
although we started off Epic a bit ill, or a lot ill, and we probably shouldn't have started in the beginning, we've actually ridden ourselves better. So we're hundreds now. Yeah, so it's been a good week, and here we are at the end. We had a very good day yesterday, and it was nice to see all our family and all the supporters at the end. Apparently I won the prize for the biggest smile of the day, so that's good. And here we are, on our way to Wildebeest.
BishBashBosch team. Alright, in the comments. Diego. Colombian riders.
What do you have to say to Mom and Dad?
Well done!
Yeah!
We're home! Thought it was never gonna happen.
The last 5 kilos we kept looking at each other saying, I can't believe it. It's taken 3 years, but here we are. Here we are. In one piece. In one piece. How does it feel? What does it feel like to finish?
It feels amazing. I must say it was a lot harder today than I thought it would be. But the last climb, stuck through it, and last 5Ks we were like, wow,
It's been a three-year journey and we made it in one piece. We finished. At the start of the week we didn't think we were going to finish this, being sick, but we rode ourselves healthy and we made it to the end. It's awesome. What does it feel like?
amazing. Great.
Yeah, I don't know words. I wanted to cry on the grass coming in, on the grass straight already. I was like getting this lump in my throat, like, oh my god, we're making it to the end.
Riding together.
Oh,
Yeah.
baby girl. Yeah, it's super amazing, super awesome. It was tough. So yeah.
And will you do it again?
Yes.
From my side, it's been 3 of our best years together. Because we've actually been together quite a lot on the bike. Yeah, good learn each other's good and bad,
Yeah.
and work through it all. So keep going.
Yeah, I think one day at a time. We'll get to the end every day, and then when we get to the final end, we can plan the next one.